Prince Harry's security request denied. Canada's firms stand on taxpayer-funded protection. Prince Harry just got a hard no from Canada. His request for government-funded security at the 2025 Invictus Games in Vancouver and Whistler has been denied, throwing yet another wrench into his ongoing battle for protection. Once a working royal with state-funded security, Harry now faces the harsh reality of footing his own security bill, an outcome that speaks volumes about his shifting status in the world. This decision is not just a personal rejection, it's a precedent. Canada is making it clear that Harry, now a private citizen, does not qualify for the kind of security he once took for granted. The message: stepping away from royal duties means stepping away from royal privileges. But why exactly did Canada say no? Let's break it down. Why Canada won't fund Harry's security. Since stepping back from royal duties in 2020, Prince Harry is no longer considered a working royal. As a private individual, the expectation is that he finances his own security, just like any other high-profile figure. The Canadian government is particularly cautious about setting a precedent. If they made an exception for Harry, who else could make similar demands? This is about more than just Harry. It's about policy, fairness, and taxpayer money. From a financial standpoint, the Canadian government has little appetite for controversy. With rising costs of living and economic pressures, allocating public funds to protect a wealthy royal, who no longer serves in any official capacity, would likely cause backlash. And that's exactly what officials wanted to avoid. The security challenges Prince Harry now faces. So what now? Without state-funded security, Prince Harry will need to rely on private security teams. But there's a major issue. Private security, no matter how expensive, cannot match government-level protection. They don't have access to the same intelligence networks, cannot operate with the same legal authority, and are often restricted in terms of weaponry. This means that in certain high-risk areas, Harry's private security could find themselves powerless to act. If there were a direct threat, local law enforcement would need to intervene, making his safety a more complicated issue. This isn't the first time Harry has struggled with security concerns. His legal battles in the UK over police protection have been highly publicized, and this latest rejection from Canada only adds to his ongoing difficulties. Harry's options. What comes next? Prince Harry has a few potential paths forward, but none of them are ideal. Paying for private security. The most straightforward option is to personally fund his protection, as he does in the United States. However, as mentioned earlier, private teams lack government-level resources. Appealing the decision, while possible, an appeal is unlikely to succeed. Canada's stance on this matter is firm, and overturning the decision could set a legal and political precedent the government wants to avoid. Media pressure and public sympathy. Harry could attempt to use public pressure, interviews, or media campaigns to highlight security concerns. However, given his and Meghan's mixed public reception, this could backfire. Seeking special arrangements. A compromise could be reached where local police secure official Invictus Games venues, but Harry is responsible for his personal security outside of those events. What this means for future royal visits. Canada's decision isn't just about Harry, it sets a precedent for all non-working royals. If Canada won't fund security for the Duke of Sussex, will other countries follow suit? This could mean that future visits by non-working royals, whether Harry, Meghan, or even other members of the extended royal family, will come with the expectation that they pay their own way. For working royals like King Charles, Prince William, or Princess Anne, official state visits are covered under government budgets. But Harry, who voluntarily left his role, is no longer entitled to such privileges. Impact on the Invictus Games. Despite the security setback, Harry is still expected to attend the 2025 Invictus Games, a project he has championed for years. However, his security concerns could overshadow the event itself. Will his presence now become a distraction? Will the Games, meant to celebrate the resilience of wounded veterans, be dominated by discussions about Harry's safety? These are real concerns, and the optics aren't great. One possible compromise could involve local police securing official venues while Harry remains responsible for his personal security outside of those locations. However, that still leaves questions about his movements between locations, potential public appearances, and overall safety. The optics. A blow to Harry's public image? There's an undeniable contradiction at play here. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped back from royal life to gain independence. Yet, Harry is still seeking taxpayer-funded security, even though he no longer represents the monarchy. This contradiction has not gone unnoticed. Critics argue that Harry and Meghan want to pick and choose which royal privileges they keep while avoiding the responsibilities that come with the role. This latest rejection from Canada only adds fuel to that narrative. Supporters, however, believe Harry has a legitimate concern. As a high-profile figure, a former military member, and a target for extremists, his security risks are real. They argue that his contributions to events like the Invictus Games warrant special protection. Either way, this situation is another example of the ongoing struggles Harry faces as he navigates life outside the royal institution. Final thoughts: a shift in the royal landscape. The Canadian government's firm rejection of Harry's request is a clear message. Stepping away from royal life comes with real consequences. While he is still beloved by many, he is no longer a working royal, and that means no more taxpayer-funded security. This decision could influence how other nations handle security requests for non-working royals in the future. It may also force Harry to rethink his approach to international travel and security arrangements. Will this change how he engages with the world? Will the UK, the US, or other nations follow Canada's lead? And more importantly, will this impact his commitment to projects like the Invictus Games? For now, one thing is clear: the days of government-funded security for Harry are over. The next move? That's up to him.